Hey, good morning. I just wanted today to talk about today's topic is going to be talking about taking action. A lot of us have gotten to a point now to where there are no more real action takers, and what I mean by that is that we're being so passive that we're allowing things to happen to us instead of things that's going to happen for us. There's a lot of things that go on in your life, in your day, throughout the relationships that you have, throughout the interactions that you have, and we just take an approach to where we just don't do anything about it, or wait till the situation happens and then become very reactive. More often than not, it usually leads to negative things like anger, blow-ups, just frustration, depression, and all those other things that could go wrong because you're being reactive to that instead of being proactive and actually creating the way that you want to go and setting your own kind of path. So when I talk about taking action, there's a reason why people don't take actions. And I'll start with that first because more often than not, it's something dealing with fear. Fear, lack of confidence, or lack of knowledge of the situation. So just kind of want to put this and give you like food for thought. But fear is something that is by self. And what I mean by that is you think of what the things that you are afraid of, whether you're afraid of it because something happened to you when you were younger, you're a kid, you were traumatized, whatever. You allow that thing to be the reason why you fear. Fear was not put to make us be, I guess, to stop our inability to do things. In fact, like we should be able to overcome fear. And if we're telling ourselves that this thing is scary or this thing is going to fail or this thing or whatever, those are self-taught. And the only person who can actually truly fix that is you by choosing to fix this. So, fear is a big thing why people don't move. Another thing is lack of confidence. If you feel like you haven't had anything that you've done successful in a long time or consistently or whatever, you feel like you don't have the confidence to get it done. So if you don't have the confidence to get it done, you're also doing things that, are kind of more fear-based. You'll never do anything to succeed. So my advice to you in that situation is do something small and just do it a little bit at a time until you're able to build up like some little wins. And then that snowballs into something a lot bigger. So I don't care if it's something that is just like you got out of bed successfully. You got up out of bed, then you made your bed, then you brushed your teeth, then you got dressed. Like those are small wins that allows you to get the confidence up. It could be something big to where like you succeeded in a game and you did this in the sport, or you did this at work and you made this sale. Like those are all other levels of confidence too. But you have to start with something that you know that you can win in, and then start building and continuously to do that to know, hey, I am a winner. Winners always think about winning. Losers are the ones that make the excuses. So just see which kind of person you are. And if you want to do something different, you stop what you're doing immediately and make that transition. Last is with this particular thing, why people don't do it is knowledge. Now, I know that you may not necessarily know the next steps to go to where you're trying to go. But one thing that we all have the ability to do is have the resources to find something or find someone or to seek the knowledge. We have a brain in order that works to give us access to things so we can get more things, so we can continue to grow. So if you don't have the knowledge, most often than not is where do I start? How do I figure this out? Just take an inventory of the people who you have in your life, in your world, who you have access to on social media, on emails. If not, pick up the Bible. Like there's all sorts of ways that you can find the knowledge that you need. Now, once you take an inventory of the people that you have, then you start kind of putting the people in place, like in order of who has something that you like or who has something that you're trying to achieve, and then actually start just going by them and being around them or talking to them. Once you model something that they're doing, you'll start noticing that you start gaining the knowledge by being around those people. And instead of the term like being guilty by association, you'll be winning by association. So work on finding somebody and finding some things that give you access to the knowledge that you're trying to get to from your current state to the future state. And one of the best analogies and examples that I learned throughout the years, especially being in the gym business, is that there's three kind of things that happen as far as taking action. So you can not do anything, which is still a form of taking action. You can stay in your current state, which is a form of taking action. And 3, you can decide to press forward, and that's a form of taking action. So my thing and my motto and the thing like I'm doing, I'm always moving forward. I just have on blinders and I keep going because I cannot stay in the same place. If I stay in the same place, I'm not challenging myself and I become comfortable. If I become comfortable, I'm not growing. And I'm the type of person that I got to grow and I have to constantly move and constantly be doing the next thing. I mean, almost to the extent where some people may view it as a fault or a negative trait, but in reality, like I'm so driven to get to where I want to go and bring along the people who are under my umbrella, who I care about, to the next pedestal and platform. The way I always look at it is like a stair. Like you're going to stay here for a particular season, time frame, or whatever, and then you go up. And then that's how you go to the next level, and then you go up. And every time I get to a next step or a next thing or a next chapter, I'm always trying to look behind to help somebody else up. That way we constantly grow, and then I make everything better by the people that I'm associated with. And then that way they can spread the seed to others, and they can do the same thing as well. So the point that I'm trying to make with all that is that if you're not taking action, you're just kind of like if you're acting like you're at the gym and you're holding a bar across your chest, like holding weight and holding that, that bar right here, you're still creating you're still having tension here, which is still creating a form of action because you have to hold it in that place. Whether you're so scared to move to the next thing or not, you're still holding here. That's action. Now, if you allow that thing to pull you back, or if it's so heavy you're coming down, this is also a form of taking action. Like you're slowly going down. Now, it's only going to get to the point to where it stops at your chest, but there was action going from here to here. And more often than not, you allow the chains and you allow the distraction, you allow all the other, this is just what I call clutter, to stop you from getting to where you really want to go with that weight. And if you have that bar here in the middle, instead of taking the action to be still and be complacent, or to regress and think negative thoughts, you can actually take that weight and now press forward. And that's a form of action. So now you have 3 different scenarios that you can use and see which kind of place that you want to go. Again, mindset is always have the mindset of a winner, to eliminate the fear, because that's self-taught and that's self-decided. Those are the thoughts that you're putting in your head. Next is to put yourself around people who are going to give you the necessary knowledge that you can do to help grow in your current situation. And then just think about, which action do I want to do? Do I want to do the action of pressing forward, which should be the only action that you want to do? Do I want to take the action of staying complacent and being exactly in the same thing, which it takes the same amount of energy? And then 3, do I want to be the type of person that's holding back or being negative to others, or being the kind of the decline of where you're supposed to go? And that's the 3rd thing, because you're going backwards. So I just want you to always be an action taker, focus on taking the correct action going forward, and then put yourself in a winning situation. So again, that's what I want to leave you with today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.